Today I'm going to rank every Scooby Doo villain by how scary they are. And what's the best way to determine how scary a monster is? By if I could beat them in a fight or not. So let's hop into our time machines and travel all the way back to September 13th, 1969. When the first ever episode of Scooby Doo Where Are You aired on TV. And while the show is seen mostly as a mystery show today, if you actually go back and watch the old Scooby Doo Where Are You episodes, they're actually more like monster movies or even slashers, like Michael Myers or the Scream movies. It's a lot of a monster or a villain chasing them, trying to get them. And in that first episode, the monster was the Black Knight Ghost. And it really set the tone for the show. I mean, this guy is terrifying. Okay, maybe not terrifying, he's frightening, but I'm not only going to take into account what the monster looks like, I'm also going to look at who is behind the mask. In this case, behind the Black Knight Ghost is Mr. Wickles, who's like a short middle-aged man who works at a museum. And that right there is my point. The Black Knight Ghost is a pretty menacing looking monster, but I think I could handle old Mr. Wickles any day of the week. And yeah, he's wearing a whole suit of armor, so maybe he's got a little bit of protection, but that thing's heavy and it's gonna slow him down.
Right in the round tables.
But he is the only one on the list right now, so he defaults at number 1. The ghost of Captain Cutler. That's right, a creepy glowing underwater diving suit haunted by the ghost of a ship captain. A captain who went down with his ship after hitting a yacht. And one of the more iconic Scooby-Doo villains, visually. And I would be pretty terrified if I saw that thing like coming out from the water at me. And I know what you're thinking, Chase, you just said with the suit of armor it's probably heavy and slows him down. But I don't know, this feels different. Like, I don't know if I would be able to get the diving mask off of his head. Like, he might be sealed in, and then I'm just like punching metal. But behind the ghost of Captain Cutler is Captain Cutler, who's a middle-aged guy with gray hair. He does seem more threatening than the guy who worked at the museum, though. And he's been a captain for his whole life. I bet he's got some of that, like, sailor strength. I'm going to rank him at number 1, knocking down the Black Knight Ghost down to number 2. The Phantom from Hassle at the Castle. I remember being a kid watching this episode and just being so scared at this cackling, laughing ghost flying through this haunted castle. And the worst part about it is you can't physically fight it, because it's revealed that behind the ghost is a former magician named Bluestone the Great. And the Phantom is actually done with like smoke and mirrors, so you can't physically get him. Can you imagine if you tried to punch the Phantom and your hand went through? You would be so scared. I would be so scared. We would be so scared. I would think it's a real ghost. That makes it pretty terrifying. It is now number 1 on the list. Miner 49er. He's a pretty scary looking guy, but he just looks like a guy. Add on the fact that behind Miner 49er is an elderly short man. I mean, I think I got him. His name's Hank. I could beat up anybody named Hank. I'm gonna rank him at number 3, right above the Black Knight Ghost. Because this guy does have a pickaxe. That is something to keep in mind. You don't want to be fighting a ghost and then you get, hit with a pickaxe and sent back to the battle bus. Witch Doctor. This dude isn't scary at all. You got some people in this show who go hard in the paint with their outfits to scare children, and I respect that. You have old man Wickles running around in a full suit of iron, breathing his asthmatic lungs out, and he just does it for the love of the game. And then you got this guy who just puts on a kind of racist mask and calls it a day? Do better. Do better, man. I will say that the guy behind it, Buck Masters, seems to be a pretty tough guy. So, I bet it would be kind of a pretty good fight, but I'm 6'4". So, I'm ranking Witch Doctor at the bottom of our list. The ghost of Elias Kingston. He looks weird and he's big. And plus his whole thing in this episode is that he's able to age people to death. So it's just like you become old and die. If I saw that in person, I would be freaking out. He does just look like a blue man though. So just like how I think I could take any member of the Blue Man group in a fight, I definitely think I could take Elias Kingston in a fight. Plus the man behind Elias is named Stuart Weatherby. He looks kind of wimpy, and with the name Stuart Weatherby, I could probably just bully him into stopping. I'm going to rank him right above Black Knight Ghost, but below Miner 49er. Ape Man. Do I think I can take on this gorilla? No. No, I do not. Plus, in the episode, he outsmarts Scooby and the gang a lot which means that he's definitely smarter than me. The guy behind the monkey is Carl, the stunt man. If I can be honest with you, friends, and I'd like to think this is a safe space, I think he would beat me up pretty bad. I'm gonna rank him just under the Phantom at number 2. Charlie the Robot. Charlie the Robot is a very scary monster in the Scooby Doo universe. Like, it would be pretty creepy to see him running around that amusement park at night, but then you're just like, oh, it's a robot. You know, he is a robot too. Like, there's not like a person in a robot outfit. Like, he's just a robot. So he could probably get a bunch of hits on me before I realize the whole like using a magnet to stop him thing. In fact, I don't even know if I would come up with that. So he might just beat me up really bad. He could potentially kill me. I'm gonna put him right under Captain Cutler's ghost. Puppet Master. Wrap me up in a violin case and send me home. Off the jump, I'm just gonna let you guys know he's at the top of the list. I don't even want to be in the same room as Puppet Master. And sure, Puppet Master's just an old man. But I don't care, bro, because I wouldn't make it that far. The second I see Puppet Master, I'm running for my life. Number 1 on the list, Ghost Clown. Now, we're really just like on a run of scary monsters in Scooby Doo, because Ghost Clown is another one that would probably send me running for my life. However, the man behind the clown is elderly. So I could probably take him if I wanted to, but I don't know if I'd even try. I would be pretty scared. He's not as scary as Puppet Master, but he's up there. I'm gonna put him at number 2. Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, and there's another one, but I think that word might be a slur now, so I'm not going to use it. This is a 4-in-1, baby, and they're all played by Big Bob. And to be honest, I think I would rank all of these guys pretty low, except for, you know, that one. I vividly remember being terrified of her watching this episode as a kid. I'm going to rank them just under Minor 49er. Mummy of Anka. This mummy doesn't stand a chance. Sure, I would be scared if I saw a creepy mummy running after me, but the second that fight or flight kicks in, I'm picking fight and I'm rolling the dice and I'm taking that mummy down, son. And I'm just gonna be throwing hands with Dr. Najib. It's over for that man. He's just wearing toilet paper to scare children, ranking him at the bottom of the list. Zombie and Witch. These are 2 of the scariest monsters from one of the creepiest episodes of Scooby Doo, Where Are You? I mean, just close your eyes and picture, we're in a creepy swamp at night, and you see these 2. Okay, you gotta open your eyes to see the pictures on the screen, but you see these 2. Add on the fact that behind these 2 is Zeke and Zeb, 2 good old boys from the swampland. I think they could jump me. I'm gonna put them just under Puppet Master. Redbeard's ghost. Very creepy. Very tough looking. The dry ice everywhere adding some dramatic effect. That would have me pretty scared. Plus, he has a flying sword. Plus, the guy behind Redbeard, CL Magnus, is a pretty big guy. So I'm gonna put him at number 3. Spooky Space Kook. This is considered by most to be the scariest monster in Scooby Doo, Where Are You? And while I would be scared, and I think the dude behind the outfit could also take me in a fight, I just don't know if it's that scary. You know, he's no Puppet Master. I'm gonna put him in the number 4 spot, but that laugh does go crazy though. The Phantom Shadows, aka Green Ghosts. So these are pretty much my favorite Scooby Doo monsters ever. I love these guys, and plus I would be so terrified if I was invited to this secluded, creepy mansion and these guys showed up. And then look at the people behind the monsters, Creeps and Crawls, who I think are super terrifying without their outfits. So I'm gonna toss these bad boys at the top of my list. Snow Ghost. This dude's pretty hardcore. I mean, he tries to kill Velma with a saw, and he throws dynamite at the gang. So when it comes down to like how dangerous the villains are, I definitely think he's up there. Plus, Mr. Greenway, the guy behind the Snow Ghost, is pretty big, so I think he's a formidable foe. I'm gonna put him at number 5. Ghost of Mr. Hyde. I think he looks really creepy. He laughs really creepy, but Dr. Jackal, who's the guy behind the monster, is just like a nerdy older guy. I could definitely beat him in a fight. Plus, the second I saw Mr. Hyde, I would probably just start swinging. And I mean, add on the fact that the second that there's a Mr. Hyde running around at the same place where there's a Dr. Jackal, I'm putting 2 and 2 together and I'm stomping his ass out. I'm putting him at number 10. Ghost of Zin Tao. Episode feels racist, don't want to cover it. I could beat him in a fight though, bottom of the list. Caveman. This guy is big, carries around a giant club, and ripped a steel door off of its hinges. The man behind the caveman is Professor Wayne, who actually ripped that door off of its hinges. So I would say he's pretty capable. I don't think he looks very scary or creepy, but obviously very tough. So I'm thinking number 8 spot, Creeper. One of the most, if not the most, iconic Scooby Doo villains. He's creepy. He's strong. He knocks out a security guard, so you know he's about that life. So I feel like I need to put some respect on his name and rank him fairly high. So I think I'm gonna toss him at number 5, right under Redbeard's ghost. The Headless Spectre. If I was in Haunted House Hangup and I saw the Headless Spectre, call it a day. Just call it a day, man. I'm done. I'm out. Don't worry about it. I'm done. I'm out. Can't punch him in the face. He doesn't have a face. Behind the Headless Spectre, though, is an old man, so I think I could take him. I'm ranking him number 6. Werewolf. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, he's creepy. But I just feel like it's a little bit basic, you know? Like, where's the creativity? I mean, dude, you have guys inventing full legends to commit their crimes. And you're just be like, yeah, I'm a werewolf. Behind the werewolf is Sheep Rustler, who is a part of a sheep smuggling gang, which I think is the lamest gang you can be a part of. Number 21. Wax Phantom. This is a 9-foot tall wax man. And I mean, he seems pretty twisted. Like, he tries to turn Mystery Inc. into wax figures. So a lot of like serial killer vibes, or even like Batman villain vibes. Behind the wax, he's just an old man though. So I do think I could take him. However, the 9-foot tall wax costume would be imposing. I'm gonna rank him towards the bottom because I just don't think he's that creepy. I think number 19. Now guys, that is every monster from Scooby Doo Where Are You ranked by order of scariest to least scary. But there's one character that I didn't mention because he's not technically a villain, but I think he definitely deserves to be on this list. In the episode Jeepers, It's the Creeper, you know, the episode with the creeper, we meet the Hermit of the Hills. He's this creepy old man who lives in a cave, and he is absolutely terrifying. His voice, his laugh, his stew. I would be remiss if I did not toss him on this list because he's one of the, that rhymed. He is one of the scariest characters in the show. So I'm going to place him at number 11 because even though he didn't do anything wrong, he's not a villain, he's not a monster, he is so scary.
Come back! Come back!
Comment who you think the scariest is, or just give me your whole list, like 1 to 20 thing or whatever. Add the Hermit of the Hills. He definitely belongs on your list too. Okay, I'll see you guys.